Hi there, Pisces. Welcome to your monthly forecast. This is for August, and you can use it for your sun, rising, and moon signs. As with every month, I like to start off with a little bit of channeled information. But before we do that, I do want to acknowledge that this is an unusual month because there is a retrograde and also an eclipse. And for those of you that might be a little apprehensive about that, I really think that the whole reason we show up every month to look at these readings is to be ready for what's ahead. And I really think that that's the most that you can do. So don't panic. Let's take this one tarot card at a time and one day at a time as well, and I think you'll be fine. So your channeled information this month is really about being as proactive as possible. And this is proactive in all elements of your life, from your finances to the security of your house to not waiting for somebody to ask you to do something. This month especially, with all of the sort of turns and twists that might come through, you want to make sure that you're anticipating other people's expectations. So I really want you to focus on not just being empathetic, but actually preparing for best and worst outcomes, because when you do that, then you're going to absolutely be ready for anything that comes your way. So with that being said, now let's take a look at all of the cards and see what sort of information is coming through in addition to the channeled information. For those of you that are joining for the first time, I want to say hello, and for all those that are returning, thank you very much. The way I organize this spread each month is I start with channeled information, then I get the general energy through a Celtic cross, and then I expand the forecast to include health, wealth, love, and destiny. There may be a couple extra cards along the way, but I will cover those as we go through them. So let's take a look now at the Catalyst card. The Catalyst card is what sets the action into motion and also what connects each of these cards together. Your catalyst for this month is a feeling of impatience, of wanting things to happen more quickly than they should or than they can. And one thing you want to keep in mind with this card is it's about the cosmic flow. You notice right behind this person, there's someone that's trying to warn him, take your time, don't do this yet. So I want you to trust in cosmic timing. I know that's a lot easier to listen to than to actually do in your life, but it will benefit you if you allow for that to happen. There's a lot of interesting cards here in the center. We have a crowning card that I'm paying attention to the most first, and it's Justice Reverse. And Justice Reverse usually comes through when it's time to move on from something. I like to see where she's pointing. She's pointing at the Emperor Reverse, which is about feeling like you're not in control of a situation. Right over top of that we have Judgment or Karma. And so I do feel like there's a karmic relationship for some of you between a paternal figure. For others of you, this is really about regaining control in your life if you feel that it was lost. And for those of you, it could be about a very strong earth sign that might be a Taurus, a Virgo, or a Capricorn. And if that's the case, what your challenge is right now is making sure that you start to get control of your finances, that you improve your self-worth, because that's something that may have been taken from you, and that also you start to focus on what you can do to manifest and create new opportunities in the future. Now, for those of you that are feeling pretty solid, what I see here that some of you have done very good work in creating good business relationships, but there is a little bit of a loss of money or an expenditure that's going to come through around the third week of the month or the middle of the month that may take you by surprise. So for those of you, I want you to pay really close attention to contracts, because that's what justice represents. All of the legal issues that may come your way, you want to have investigated by your attorney or someone who really understands the letter of the law. For everybody else, what I'm seeing here is a general need for you to stay as even-tempered as possible, to have as much transparency and visibility into what's going on in your life as possible as well, because the Emperor knows everything. And so I'm feeling that either you've given up some of your autonomy to others, or you just feel like you'd like more ability to manage. So whatever it is, you do have to sort of respect and work with that. And the impatience may be, for some of you, particularly those that might be young and just going through college, it's going to take some time to get where you want to go. And there is going to be sort of like a heavy rule of law or a heavy structure that surrounds you. Now there's a lot of great cards here on the right, and I'd like to take some time to look at that. your ego position is fabulous. We have the Sun card here, which shows that you have a really good capability right now to bring in new energy, new opportunities. It's a charisma card, basically. What you want to be a little bit cognizant of with this, though, is particularly for those of you that are either look young or people don't understand what you have to offer, you really want to make sure that they see your credentials, or that somehow they are aware of what you can bring to the table. So maybe you show that you're experienced, or you have someone else vouch for you. Some of you may have a hard time having people believe that you either have as much experience or as much age under your belt as you do. The latter is usually a compliment, but it can also be a detriment if you're trying to get ahead or win a client, etc. There is a little bit of discomfort this month when it comes to overall relationship satisfaction. The Five of Cups happens when you might find yourself in a situation where you're asking yourself, am I comfortable in this relationship? Is it everything that I hoped it would be? And if it isn't, then this is a chance for you to release the situation, since you're in a retrograde. The other thing that I'm seeing for some of you is a partnership coming to a close. Whenever I see two of the same suits, in this case the King and Queen of Pentacles, separated by the Justice card, this usually has to do with a divorce, a separation, or a dissolution of a large corporation. So with two primary partners in it. So if you find yourself in the middle of this, definitely be proactive and find a way to protect your interests and your assets as well. Overall, I want you to be very mindful this month of how you communicate and to whom you communicate, and I also want you to keep an extra careful eye on all expenditures, save receipts, and be prepared for an audit or a check of those things. Overall, your health is looking okay, other than a little bit of turmoil emotionally, but by and large, things are looking okay. So let's expand your forecast and look at health, wealth, love, and destiny so we can get some additional details. We'll start first with health. Health includes mind, body, and spirit. And your message for health this month is to basically continue the good work that you've been doing, and your positive attitude is what's going to matter the most. What you want to try to overcome is this Five of Cups card that we're seeing, and focus more on opportunities, on positive growth. And for those of you that might have had some sort of an injury or a setback, I want you to believe that you can make some sort of a recovery. Have faith. It's really important. There definitely is a mind over matter when it comes to health recovery. You can oftentimes make a doctor wonder how you lived longer or how you recovered much faster. So don't ever underestimate the power of the human soul and the human mind to really affect for healing. All right, now let's take a look at your wealth card and see what kind of career opportunities are coming through for you for this month. As far as wealth goes, we have a card that represents being on the prowl. And so when I see all of these other cards that are showing needing to be careful of legal situations, needing to take care of your money and your personal matters, I want to say proceed with caution. For me, this is like an alley cat. This is something that sneaks around in the side. So I want you to be very transparent, very open, and very documented when it comes to your money situations this month. Don't do anything that compromises your morals. Don't do anything that isn't completely transparent. The other thing that's cool with this, if you're not experiencing sort of being in the middle of business falling apart, or if your marriage situation's really solid, and really what this is about is just a sort of anxiousness and readiness to try something new. The feline card is about being inventive, about finding a way out that other people wouldn't have. So if you're trying to get funding for a new business, you might have a unique funding idea, and that's actually a good thing. You just want to make sure that if you're in another situation where people are making you do something that feels like it's a shade of gray, you don't want to do that. But ingenuity, great ideas, I'm all for that. Creativity, and creativity with money, there's nothing wrong with that. You just have to make sure that everything is completely by the letter of the law. That's the one thing that I definitely get loud and clear. All right, let's now take a look. We looked at health and wealth. Let's take a look at love and see what message you have for relationships this month. Your relationship card is that new growth can happen. So if you so happen to be the one that might be in this divorce or separation, or if you're in a place where you've basically been working so hard that you haven't had an opportunity to really create a relationship or space for a relationship, there is space this month. And one of your challenges or opportunities will be, do you want to embrace that? Do you want to feed that area of your life? Because I think that if you're ready and you're willing, growth can happen. Doesn't matter if you're with someone or you're without or just left someone. I feel like you can improve your situation this month. All right, let's take a look now at your destiny card to see where your overall direction and trajectory is pointing you. Your trajectory card, your destiny card this month is Alchemy. I like this because it's a card of possibilities. This is not a card of being stagnant. It's not a card of being stuck. This is about you taking what you have and making something new. And I actually think for some of you, that is really what these two go hand in hand. The feline card is about keeping a great idea to yourself until the timing is right, and making sure that for those of you that are inventors particularly, that you get your patent, you get everything in order when it comes to legal and contractual arrangements. And then I see great things coming through with that. Finally, I'm pulling a bonus card for all signs this month to see what the effect of the eclipse and also the retrograde will be for you. And so your major energy is, it's so funny because we keep getting patience and impatience. So I feel that whatever you were waiting so patiently or impatiently to happen will come to fruition. And your lesson will be, I just needed to have a little faith. I just needed to give it a little bit of time. For some of you, this could also involve having a child. And it's interesting because I see some symbology in both of these of an egg or of a baby. And also we have the sun card here in the ego. So for those of you that have had, I never really thought of it this way, some difficulty in conception because we have a husband and a wife, we have a lack of success here, we have some sadness. This could actually be a really great month for you for either finding a surrogate, for the fertility drugs working, or for an adoption working. Somehow I see a new soul coming in for many of you, and that's a beautiful thing. So don't give up. Try different things though. Remember that it's not always. My idea of adoption changed radically when I adopted my dog, because I love that dog like it was a blood relative. And I feel like a soul can come through, and it doesn't have to be of your body or your flesh to absolutely be a part of you. So consider that if that is something that you're looking for. And now let's review everything and see if additional information comes through during the summary. Your channeled information was really to approach this entire month as being proactive. And as I'm looking now at the spread, it makes a lot more sense. I really think the proactivity has to happen in legal matters and contractual matters. I also think that you want to make sure that all of your money, like we said before, is accounted for. Your catalyst card was to have patience, and it's an acknowledgement that things haven't been working maybe in the way that you wanted to. That if we're just speaking metaphorically, fertility, it hasn't been a very maybe fertile July. Things are going to be a lot more successful in August. Now let's take a look at the cards on the Celtic cross here. Again, there's a few different meanings here. The main thing that I'm seeing is a need for caution, and for some of you a need for distance or separation. I also see challenges with money matters, but a lot of money to sort of be divvied up if that's the case. Partnerships start off strong, but there is a little bit of tension towards the middle of the month, and for some of you, the relationship may not last through that tension. Your overall energy is really great though, and as a manifestation of your personality, this is the card that I would associate with charisma. The only thing that you need to really think about is what do you want to be doing, because I get a sense that right now there's a lot of compromise for some of you, or that you found yourself in a situation that you didn't anticipate. So we're ending the month on a slightly lethargic note, So don't be afraid to take some action and to push through and do what you want to do at the end of the month. That's how you can overcome the page reversed. As we look at health, I want you to keep a positive outlook, and if you're trying to overcome some sort of an injury or chronic illness, really try to look for new or alternative methods of treatment and stay as positive as you can. When we're looking at wealth, be careful. It also says be creative. So it's a little combination of both. These aren't mutually exclusive, but be creative, be careful, and don't get caught doing something that you regret. When we're looking at love, there's a chance for growth, even in the wake of things falling apart, or even if you have to be really cautious. I feel like there's going to be a chance for love to grow or love to deepen. Your destiny card this month is about taking what you have and really putting it together in a way that others may not imagine. For those of you that might be investment bankers or into financial planning, that alchemy card could be all about how you can take money and make it grow. And finally, your patience will pay off this month if you can find it. And for some of you, there might be a way to bring either a project to fruition, or for some of you that are looking to conceive, that's a possibility as well. So that concludes our monthly reading. I hope that it gave you the insight that you needed to traverse all of the challenges this month. If you have any specific questions about your life or would just like more guidance in general, I do offer one-on-one appointments. You can click the link at the end of the video for more information on rates and availability. I also have the URL listed in the description area right below the video. You just have to click that expand button to see more of it. Within that area, you'll also find links to my social media, including Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So if you're on any of those, feel free to join me. I'd love that. If you'd also like any sort of updates on when I post new videos or meditations, there are two ways to do that. The easiest is just to click subscribe and then opt into the notifications, which is the bell. But you can also sign up for my newsletter if you prefer to kind of stay out of the Google/YouTube ecosystem. I understand. And finally, if you just want to give a little bit of donation back to say thank you, I do have a link for that as well, but this is a love-based donation. There's no requirement for that. Finally, I just want to say thank you. It's your love, your support, all of the feedback and likes and subscribes that really keep me motivated from month to month. So please keep that coming and know that I really do appreciate that. So from my heart to yours, I hope that you find what you need to plan ahead for the month, and that you're able to kind of navigate some of the trickiness that I'm seeing with contracts and with legalities. Just stay on the up and up and don't do anything that you'll regret, and I feel like you'll be in a very good place. Wishing you much love, much support. I'll see you again in a month's time. Bye-bye.